I got key change. You raise me up. Are we actually recording now? This is hi, welcome to the worst boy band that MJ BizCon has ever seen.
The first boy band MJ BizCon has ever seen,
That's
but
it.
we'll take the mantles.
We need some sort of boy band strain name or something.
I don't know what it would be.
Look at that, yeah.
We'll mull on that as we progress.
Any suggestions, guys? Please, we're here for it. But welcome back to the lobsterpot. Here we are. Someone's very excited here at MJ BizCon 2022, and we're here with KD Khairah, Chris Day, Brian Roth, and what's your name again?
I think it's Jamie.
But
I think, judging by the voices of everyone sat in the booth today, I think we're all at about the same stage of the Thursday at MJ BizCon. We're all a little bit gruff, we're a little bit fatigued, we're pulling through. This is the sort of last appointments for the day. We're going to make it.
We're here tomorrow as well, so Christ knows how that's going to shake out, but it'll be interesting. But anyway, this is our first rodeo, and it's your first rodeo too, isn't it, KD? How are you finding the show thus far?
The show, this is my third one, so it's been exciting. It's good to see so many people under one roof and building new relationships. So it's been great so far.
Cool. And but this is this is the weird thing where we go. They have to come back to you and. But we had a great time, all of us, last night at the GCNC party organised by Mr. Chris Day. How was it for you? Did you have a good time? Was it everything you dreamed it would be and more?
Definitely and more. No, it was great. The GCNC has been around MJ Biz now for several years, and last night was by far the most diverse in terms of international representation of companies and CEOs that we've ever had at our C-suite event. So, we fulfilled our goal of just helping connect the dots and encourage the global ecosystem. That's what we're all about. So it was great.
Very nice, and we certainly had a good time. There was some nice. You had the kind of wine bar and the beer bar, and it's like started out. Everyone's in the wine bar, so we get a crowd. Let's go to and then everyone just follows suit. But it was brilliant, and some great food as well, and great company. We had a nice little stand out the front and chatted to lots of cool people. Brian, how did you find it? How was the whole thing for you?
Yeah, it was good. It was real good. Yeah, all about the relationships and the partnerships. It's I've been to a handful of these now, and there's a good international contingent showing up, and an increasing amount of folks from outside of the U.S., which has been really refreshing, given the market in the States.
I can say, is that something? Has that sort of grown over time? Its international appeal, do you think, MJ BizCon?
Oh, for sure. Even just. We've been members of the GCNC, just new members this year, and to find opportunities like that has been tremendous. But also there are a lot of other countries that are looking to leverage the knowledge and experience from legalized markets to do it right. And that's been incredible to see, just sharing knowledge. How do we not make mistakes? How does the plant win and the operators in that space, which has been tremendous.
I'd be really interested to pick your guys' brains as you're all multiple time all pro team at MJ, varying experiences in your own rights. How do you feel about the show? We're not throwing shade on the show itself, but I'd be really interested to get your take. We've had a walk around trying to get a feel of it. We've only done smaller events before in Europe that feel a lot more intimate, and this feels a lot more separated. The way that Dave put it when we spoke about it earlier was that it feels like there's lots of different communities with a little bit of overlap, kind of spinning all at the same time. I'd be curious as to how you sort of find the feel of the show and the kind of split of people and what that's like.
Yeah, well, I think you guys know, but there was about a 5-year stint where I was the marketing director for MJ BizCon. So I've seen it grow a lot. And that is certainly the challenge. So anytime I'm talking to people about how to utilize this show, I tell them, find your tribe early, know who they are, where they will be, because if you're going to try and do it on the show floor, it's impossible. And yeah, unlike shows in other parts of the world, which I also do tend to prefer, this really is hardcore business first, see all the booths, do all the things, and you have to pre-plan. If you just show up and hope it's going to work, it won't. It's too big. But this is something we face in every other industry, right? Consumer electronics show, media, everything I've ever touched, the big industry show that you go to, you have to work a little bit harder to make it work for you.
I think that's it. It does feel transactional, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, just to echo Chris's sentiment there. How many different machinery vendors that are really selling product from the same factory overseas exist here? There's probably a few. And to Chris's point, I think it's like find your trusted people, your tribe, because the word of mouth and people vouching for others goes a long way in this industry, and it can be a little overwhelming coming to MJ BizCon for the first time, how the scale and how many people are selling the same thing. There's a lot of noise. So I agree with you, Chris, completely.
I completely agree with both of my friends here. We were at ICBC, that's where I met with Chris, I met with you guys. It was definitely, built a lot of great connections, but when you get here and you see like 35,000 people, okay, where do you go? Who do you meet? And if you do not build that tribe, as Chris mentioned, it's difficult. So, yeah.
I feel like that's going to be the guide set for next year. Like everyone knows to wear, sneakers and, everyone knows that stuff. But it's the other side of it. It's the actual, the real good prep and stopping it just being a lot of noise, effectively, because that's what it feels like as you walk around. There are so many people doing so many things, trying to talk to so many people. Where you fit into that puzzle is almost an unknown unless you've really done your research.
It's kind of hard to plan ahead a little bit. I mean, you can kind of make plans, but you have to make plans to break plans, right? It's like you can, we're going to do this stand, hit that one. They look cool, let's go and talk to them. And then it's just like, we're going to go over there now because that seems like a good thing to do right now. And I think it's just, it's just indicative of, the way business works. You kind of know people, you meet people, like you're saying. It's all about who you know and who can vouch for you and what you've done and all of that sort of stuff. And I think it's an interesting challenge. But and then we feel like, we're walking around. What have we achieved? Well, we feel absolutely shattered. But
we must have done something.
We did.
We're knackered.
But again, everyone's saying it's kind of like everyone gets into these. It's kind of off the show floor where the kind of the chats happen, the discussions where the friendships are made, and that feels like we certainly felt that last night at the GCNC event for sure. So
yeah, it was really valuable. It was nice to speak to, connect the dots. You're doing a monthly kind of meeting, and you see people in their square boxes on a screen, and that's great. But there's not anything quite like actually meeting someone in person, shaking.
I think everyone just thought I was coming on to them. I think I know you from somewhere. It was kind of a lot of that kind of conversation. I've seen you face before on that call, haven't I? Kind of thing.
We did hear the smoothest line, didn't we? Was it when we were going through the airport? I feel like I can't remember where it was.
No, I think it was at the hotel.
Was it at the hotel?
Yeah.
We walked past this we walked past this lady who turned around to this guy and she's like, "Do I know you?" He goes, "I don't know you, but I'd love to." That's really just like that. I was like, "Okay, all right, bro."
Is that really smooth?
I think it is. I think there's a time and a place. Whether or not it was effective would be a different question.
One thing I do have to mention, GCNC, this started happening about almost a month ago. We started getting those emails, okay, try and get to know all the events that are going to happen and whatnot. So I really do appreciate how proactively the GCNC team got us all the information, and they were like these sessions which many of us were a part of, and we got all that info. And I mean, personally for me at CanMar, we started connecting with everybody before coming here, so it was just eased into the whole thing.
No, it certainly feels like that's part of the tribe that we're in, isn't it? And that's really, really, and testament to what everyone's doing, and you and Jill, everyone, Chris, it's cool. It's so cool. And but yeah, so what's kind of just to put you on the spot? What's your kind of plans for GCNC? Kind of post MJ BizCon? What are you going to be doing next?
So we've got a lot actually coming up. We're working with you all on expanding the GCNC Worldview podcast. So I'm excited about that because we went dark for about 7 months, but we've got, actually, Brian and I recorded yesterday, and KD and I are going to connect on a show next week. But that'll be good. We are partnering up with some folks for the show coming up in Mexico. We'll be doing some stuff in Colombia. I'll be in Europe again next summer. And all of that really is designed, again, I love to travel, so it's great, but it's really designed to get out, meet folks, so that for everybody that's engaged, I'm part of helping, and Jill is part of helping expand that network for everyone and bringing together all the different components, right? The investors, the operators, the producers, extraction, everything that people are shopping here for on the floor, but finding them that are already working multinationally across continents and can be trusted to not screw up.
Very cool.
So that's what we've got planned.
I like it. I like it a lot. So, KD, tell us a bit more about what's happening with CanMar and what your plans are. I know you've got big growth ambitions too.
With CanMar, first of all, we started as a recruitment company. This is pre-legalization 2018. And of course, with COVID, everything changed. So nobody was hiring and nobody was paying their bills. So we either could kill the company or pivot. And now we decided to pivot. Now CanMar is, of course, still continuing to do the recruitment. And with that, we have just built our beta version of the community that we are building. So the easiest way to understand this is Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all had a threesome and came out CanMar Hub. So that's the way to explain it. But yeah, our goal is that no more shadow banning companies or individuals. You know, we recently were blocked by Facebook from a 2019 post on, it was just a gummy picture, and Facebook sends
It took them 3
your
years
blog.
to figure that out.
It took them 3 years to figure that out. But
Jeez.
yeah.
If you're listening, Zuckerberg, you need to be on your game because 3 years is,
Yeah, so we just want to connect everybody. No matter where you are, technology has made the world such a small place. So people should be able to connect through CanMar Hub.
Yeah, very cool. And I come to Brian as well. What elevated signals you own everywhere apart from Canada? Is that right?
Yeah, we try, but yeah, no, it's going to be an exciting 2023 with emerging markets and legalization coming online. We'll continue to be very strong in Canada, of course, our home country, but I'm going to be racking up some frequent flyer miles next year. I think it's in the best of ways. Portugal, Netherlands. We've got strong clients in Australia. Perhaps Denmark. See what happens in Germany, but very exciting, and we'll be there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all kind of. I mean, yeah, we're all in Berlin, and all signs point to Germany. It's just curious because they're just building an industry from nothing. It feels like there's no kind of infrastructure there from to go and source things through Telegram. Not that I necessarily did that, but I've heard that's the way to procure in such markets. However, then it's not even like Amsterdam where you've kind of got the coffee shop culture. It's going to be interesting how that shakes out from a consumer perspective, right? And everything else kind of follows from there. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool. How about we play a little card game? Now this is nothing untoward. I'm going to hand this to you, KD, and I'm going to ask you all to pick a card. I'm going to say.
This is new.
We trade in ideas. We trade in ideas, and we're giving out free ideas.
We'll say it's magic. Yeah.
Just pick a card.
Like I'm at the X Factor, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you got that
Am I
one.
supposed to not show this?
No, it's
to
all
you?
right. We'll just go. We'll just take it in turns. It's just a little game because we trade in ideas. We want to give away ideas for free. So perhaps if we can just go around and you can just tell us, read out your idea that you've got, and we'll get your hot take on it.
Reignite tensions between Canada, where cannabis is legal, and Denmark, where it isn't, by opening a dispensary on their shared remote, what is this? Arctic outpost, Hans Island? Okay, I'm totally lost here. For a minute. I'm too tired
That's
for
a good
this.
sign.
I'm too tired.
That's
This
a good
Thursday
sign.
at MJ BizCon.
Chris,
Yeah.
what about you?
So I like this. This could be a GCNC stretch goal. It says, be the first to send weed into space. Get the highest ever. So, you know what? Let's build something on the moon out of hemp. We'll turn it into a consumption lounge for space tourists.
Hemp bricks.
I
Love
like
that.
that.
On the moon. There we go.
Nice card.
Go wild with wool. Yarn bomb a local monument in your brand colors. Then use the wool to knit an intentional sweater. Sell the intentional sweater. Money.
Well, you work in sales, right?
So this sweater was on the most amazing monument, and there's a huge green dank fire cannabis leaf in the middle, and you want it because it's not very expensive, but there's a lot of value.
That's about right.
We'll take that.
Yeah, we'll take that. As you can see, our sales strategies need some work, but we are a creative agency. We're not sales consultants, so that's what we're about.
That's it. And just to give some context to KD's one, there is an island in the Arctic which is shared between Canada and Denmark, because obviously Greenland. And I thought, why not? Why don't you just someone open a dispensary just straddling the two countries, and then because what they do, they have this thing where they've sort of disputed the island for ages. Should it be Canada? Should it be Denmark? Who owns it? And what happens is the Canadians come along, put up their flag, and leave some whiskey behind for the Danes. They come down, take the flag down, leave some aquavit for the Canadians, and put the Danish flag up. So, battle over booze, battle over cannabis. Let's make it happen. Just to give some it did need explaining, so I do. Obviously, like we say, our strategy could do with some polish, but hey, we're still learning. But yeah, wrapping things up. Thank you so much, guys. Always a pleasure to chat with you formally, informally, just to see your lovely faces. So
Thank you very much.
again.
Likewise.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.